Hey there viewers, welcome to the Lunatic Reader. This is Tarun. I'm a bibliophile and also I love creating bookish content. So without wasting much of your time, let's get started with today's video. Today in this video, I'm going to give you guys a comprehensive and spoiler-free book review of The Vault of Vishnu by Ashwin Sanghi. So let me tell you guys, before jumping further ahead into the review, I'd like to present to you with some basic physical overview of this book and also a bunch of other details. So as this is going to be a comprehensive book review, I'm going to discuss about all the key aspects of this book in the initial phase, where I'll be talking about the plot, characters, narration and writing style of this book. Well, heading to the second phase, I'll list out and talk about the highlights and drawbacks of this book so that you can go ahead and decide if you should try this book or not. Talking about the plot, this book has two major storylines that are based and running in different time periods simultaneously, and moreover this book also allows you to have a glance at other minor subplots. On one hand, during the ancient times, a Chinese monk has taken up this gigantic task upon himself to explore the whole length and breadth of the Indian subcontinent and to travel across the country to gain the ancient Vedic knowledge the country had to offer. So in this journey he faces a lot of hardships and struggles. Whereas on the other hand, in current times, the border dispute between India and China intensifies pretty bad, resulting in a huge war casualties on the Indian side. Because the Chinese soldiers exhibit an incredible amount of superhuman strength while taking a toll on Indian troops. In order to figure out the strange battle tactics displayed by the Chinese forces, the Indian government appoints Wing Commander Paramjit Khurana on a very classified mission to analyze and investigate the secret behind Chinese soldiers' superhuman strength which they displayed during the battle. Paramjit Khurana is the female protagonist of this book. She works for DRDO. She is very smart, young and brave. So this is happening for the first time in Ashwin Sanghi's Bharat series, that he introduced us with a female protagonist character, which is very nice, and throughout the book I really loved her character. So this is the basic outline of the whole story. In order to find out if Paramjit Khurana will actually be successful with her mission, and also what is the mystery behind Chinese monks traveling across the Indian subcontinent, you'll have to read the book. Now talking about the characters, you'll find very limited characters in this whole book, but every single character that you will come across has something or the other important to add up to the story. So in that way, the author has taken a very wise decision to keep the characters limited in this book, because as this is a fast-paced novel, if you had too many characters around, I think it would have been pretty hard for readers to remember and cope up with all of their personalities together. So I think that was a great move by Ashwin Sanghi. I personally love the character of Paramjit because even though she is not seen engaged in any hand-to-hand combat with bad guys in this whole story, still she is depicted as a very strong character where she is not afraid of taking bold decisions. She is very brave enough, so she can go to any extent in order to fulfill her duty and all that. So I really like that kind of a personality of the female protagonist. Moreover, the other supporting characters in this book, such as Anu, Mark Richards and Rao, they are equally strong as well, and they have a lot to offer to this whole context of the book. The writing style and narration of Ashwin Sanghi is interesting, as it's always been, and will almost grab your attention instantly as soon as you start reading the book. But compared to his previous books, I would say it's not as nail-biting as it used to be, but definitely you'll enjoy reading the book. Even though the core subject of this book is very concise, the author has managed to exaggerate the story a bit in order to include many things in there so that it won't be a boring experience for you as a reader. And moreover, he has included many other minute subplots which will keep you engaged to this book through the end. Now, talking about the highlights of this book, it definitely comprises many things put together, such as the characters, writing style, suspense driven story, and some major plot twists. At the same time, Ashwin Sanghi has simplified his writing style and language in this book compared to his previous books, because even a beginner at reading can easily comprehend the whole context of this book without any problem. And moreover, this book is comparatively much shorter than his previous books, so I think that really complements the whole story of this book, because if it was exaggerated even a bit more than this, it would have been a bit boring for the readers. Now, talking about the drawbacks of this book, I personally felt that the plot was based on a very short and concise episode which was exaggerated and pulled out through the end by the author in order to make it a bit lengthier. So instead of doing that, if he actually focused on how would India retaliate after the attack which was made by China on the border, it would have been more interesting, and he could have included lot more things such as warfare and all of that. Moreover, I was expecting Paramjit Khurana to be having some hand-to-hand combat scenes and all that, where she is kicking some ass of bad guys and something like that, but I didn't get to see that in this book. So even though it doesn't really make any difference, but it would have been good if the female protagonist was shown in such a way. Now, talking about my personal reading experience with this book, I would say it was nothing sort of extraordinary or overwhelming. It was pretty decent enough. I liked that book, but at the same time I had a lot of expectations from Ashwin Sanghi, because he's one of my favorite authors. So it turned out to be something mild and entertaining, but I didn't really find anything nail biting about it as I did when I read The Keepers of Kalachakra and The Krishna's Key. But you can't really compare these books together because everything is pretty much different with them. But at the same time, if you are an Ashwin Sanghi fan, then I would definitely recommend you to read this book at least for once. It's worth reading because it offers a lot of insight about the history and many other aspects. My overall rating for the Vault of Vishnu is 7 out of 10 stars, because I think it's a pretty decent book which is worth reading at least for once. And if you are an Ashwin Sanghi fan, then you would definitely like this book. So that's all about this review, guys. Hope you found this video helpful. So I'm gonna meet you guys with my next video. Till then, keep reading, keep smiling, and also thanks for watching.